Okay, hi everyone. So I'm Sarah Thummel. Thank you for joining in our information session this evening. We have Leslie Lowry with us. She is a travel agent that specializes in Disney, and she is going to share her screen with us, and she's going to have a presentation. You are all on mute to start off with. If you have a question for her, please hit unmute at the very end of the session, and we can ask her some questions. So go ahead, Leslie.
Hi, I'm Leslie Lowry, and I am so excited that I was able to join you guys and get you excited about this new promotion for 31. This is awesome. I am a huge fan of Disney. By day, I am a nursing instructor. I've been a nurse for about 14 years now, and we went to Disney World for the first time in 2012 with our family and fell in love. And we just went on our 11th Disney destination vacation since 2012. So needless to say, we've been on a few of them. I think after about the third trip, I decided that I loved helping other people plan their vacations so much that I looked into becoming a travel agent on the side. So I'm a travel agent and I specialize in Disney vacations. So we are going to get started so that we can get you excited about your potential upcoming trips. Okay, so the first screen you are looking at here, up here in the top left corner, this is a picture of a room that I've quoted for Pop Century. So we're first going to talk about Walt Disney World resorts in Florida. So this one on the top left is Pop Century Resort, and that is considered a value resort. The next slide is going to show you the price breakdown. This top right picture is Port Orleans French Quarter, and then that's considered a moderate resort. And then down here on the bottom, that is a contemporary resort with a theme park view. So you can actually see Magic Kingdom and watch the fireworks from your balcony there. So to get into some pricing on that, what I did is I just picked kind of a random week. I did 7 nights. So I chose September 9th through September 16th of this year with 2 adults and 2 children, ages 7 and 4. So those 3 resorts, if you look at them, this pricing includes the room and the theme park tickets. So it is a 4-day ticket, and that's admission to 1 park per day. So it doesn't include the park hopper, but you would get into 1 park per day with over 4 days. So you see at the bottom, the value resort that you saw, the Pop Century, is at $2,538. Then you move into the moderate level, which is around $3,200. And then that theme park view bumps you up quite a bit, up to $6,000. But one of the really awesome things about the Contemporary Resort, and a huge perk and advantage of it, is that it is within walking distance of Magic Kingdom. So if that is a place that you think your family might want to go often, it is super convenient. You can walk back and forth to your resort, and the monorail goes right through it. So once you figure out where you want to stay and how many day tickets you want, another thing to consider is the dining plan. So you'll see that over off on the left-hand side. And for this family, this little example family that I have quoted here, to add the quick service dining plan, it is $968.56, and that's for the whole vacation. So it pays for your food, which a quick service dining plan includes 2 quick service meals per day. And a quick service is considered, think if you have to walk up to a counter and order something, and then you take your food and sit down at your table. And then it also has 1 snack and a refillable mug. Excuse me, it's 2 snacks. I wanted to double check that. And then the regular dining plan is $1,320.29 to add to that. And that's including 1 table service meal, which is you would sit down at a table and be served by a waiter, a quick service meal, 2 snacks, and then that refillable mug. And then I also listed the Memory Maker here, which is when any of the PhotoPass people take your picture on the parks or the ride photos or any of those kind of things. If you pay the $149 up front, you automatically get to download those as many times as you want for 30 days after the trip. So it's super convenient and kind of nice to get some really good quality family photos. So now we're going to move to Disneyland. So Disneyland also has the same tiered resorts. So there's a value, a moderate, and a deluxe. So the first one we are going to talk about is Paradise Pier. Now, something really unique about Disneyland is that it is all within walking distance. So the 3 resorts that I'm going to talk about, as well as the downtown Disney area and California Adventure and Disneyland, you can walk to all of them. So if you stayed at one of these hotels, you wouldn't have to get in a vehicle the entire time you're there. Because it is smaller, I quoted a smaller amount of days as well, because you typically don't need to spend an entire week at Disneyland. So Paradise Pier is considered their value resort. So this is a picture of the outside as well as one of the rooms there. So I randomly picked September 13th through the 17th. So did a 4-night stay, same family, with a premium view there and 3-day ticket. And that's going to be running about $3,000. So definitely doable within your all's incentives that you have. And you see on these that you can add a flight. So if you go through the flight system with Disney, and I honestly have never done it, so I don't know if it's comparable to a flight if you went, if you just purchased a flight through another airline. But if you go through this, I did double check, and you can use your gift card to pay for the flight. So it can be included in that amount. This next resort is the Disneyland Hotel, and this is actually where I stayed whenever I went out to Disneyland. And what's really cool about this hotel is that if you'll notice on the headboard back behind those 2 beds, how it kind of looks like it's lit up. Well, it actually does. You can push a button on your lamp, and it does this psalm, and I think it's When You Wish Upon a Star, and then all the little fireworks light up, and it's just like kind of a neat little touch. It makes you feel really special. But and it has a really cool pool area as well. So the Disneyland Hotel is considered the moderate resort. So same amount of time, and it just bumps you up just a little bit to $34.48 for that hotel. And then we have the deluxe resort there, which is called the Grand Californian. And what's particularly special about the Grand Californian is that the guests that are staying at this hotel have a private entrance into the park. So they have their own entrance that you can enter through, so that you don't have to go through all the back check and the lines and everything that all the general public is going through. So it's kind of a little added perk. And so it is a deluxe resort. And so for that same time period, it bumps you up to about $37.70, $7.96. All right. Now we're going to move to Disney Cruise Line. So if you've been on a cruise, you probably know the normal way of cruising. Disney takes cruising and steps it up a notch. One of the really neat features of a Disney cruise is they have what's called rotational dining. So instead of staying in the same dining area every single night, you rotate through the different restaurants that are on the ship. So you still have your same servers, so they get to know your family. We just went on a cruise, and my youngest he asked for a bowl of cherries the first night because he wanted a Shirley Temple, and they brought a Shirley Temple, but I wouldn't let him dig the cherries out of it. So he wanted a bowl of cherries to go with it. So every night when we got to our table, there were 2 Shirley Temples for each boy and a bowl of cherries sitting on our table. So your servers get to know you and your family and kind of like what you want. And so they move around to all the restaurants with you, but every restaurant has a different theme and a different experience and entertainment and all of that. So it's really kind of cool. It keeps the kids really engaged. And then another really neat thing about the cruises is that they have Broadway caliber shows. I mean, these shows, they should be charging $100 a ticket for, which, I mean, I guess through your fees on the ship, you're probably paying for it, but it is, they are just to die for that you get every night. So they're really, really good shows. They also are the only ship at sea that offer fireworks while you're at sea. So there is a pirate night on every ship, and they actually shoot off fireworks. So you're in the middle of the ocean and fireworks are being shot off above your boat. So that is that's another awesome feature. This is an example of one of the rooms there, and that is an ocean view. So you just have a large porthole. And then another awesome feature is that there is about an entire floor that is catered to children. So this is a picture of the Oceaneer Lab, but they have an Oceaneer Lab and an Oceaneer Club. Your children get a tracker bracelet, a magic band that they can track where they are on the ship at all times. And you have a secret password. You check them in. No adults are allowed in that area. And they get to have pajama parties with Pluto, learning how to be superheroes with Captain America. My kids made Stitch goo, space goo with Stitch. So they had all kinds of cool activities for them constantly. So because of this and how fun that area is, you actually get some alone time with your spouse and have some private adult time. So that's a really, really nice feature of cruises. So I kind of picked a couple of different options here just to give you an idea. I quoted that same family that we talked about, so the 2 adults and 2 children. And this just gives you kind of a picture of how different levels of the rooms would look on different dates. This is a 4-night Bahamian cruise. So it's going to stop at Disney's private island, which is Castaway Cay, and then the Bahamas, probably Nassau. I can't tell particularly, but they usually stop at Nassau. And then what it would be for an inside, an ocean view, a veranda, so meaning you have a balcony, and then concierge level. So that's a huge step up. Never had the pleasure of doing that. And then I also quoted, this is to give you an idea, I put 2 on this one. So you have that 7-night Caribbean cruise to give you an idea to compare between what it would look like just to bounce up to a 7-night compared to a 4-night. But then also wanted to show the option of Alaska. The Disney Alaskan cruises I've heard are really amazing. So that gives you kind of a picture of what that looks like there. All right. And then we're going to move to Hawaii. So this is a couple of pictures of the resort room as well as the lazy river and some fun character interactions with Stitch over at Aulani. And for that same family, for the same times of September 9th through the 16th, Aulani in a standard room here. So you can see kind of what that includes, that they sleep up to 4, 2 queen-size beds or 1 king-size bed and a queen-size sleeper. That is going to cost $39.01. And then you can see down here that you have different options of jumping up a little bit depending on the view that you have. So it's definitely reasonable as far as the resort goes. I think sometimes with Hawaii, the flights get to be where what gets you is because the flying out there is a little bit expensive depending on where you're flying from. All right. And then I didn't quote prices on either of these, but I wanted you to know that there are options available. So the top picture is a picture of Hilton Head Resort, which is in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And then the bottom picture is a picture of Disney's Vero Beach Resort, which is in Vero Beach, Florida, which is a couple hours from Orlando. So those options are included or available for you to use your Disney gift card on as well. They don't tend to be as popular as resorts as the big parks and everything. So I didn't quote them, but it's definitely an option to look into. All right, so an aside here, I really want to get you guys pumped up about Disney. Obviously, I love it. I'm passionate about it. I think it's a great place. We've been there 11 times in the last 5 years. So we are excited about Disney just in general. But there is no obligation to ever absolutely use me. However, I want to let you know what a Disney travel agent or a travel agent that specializes in Disney vacations can provide you. They are entirely free. So the price of your vacation is included is going to be the same if you book it or if you book it through a travel agent. Any travel agent that specializes in Disney vacation has been through the College of Disney Knowledge, and it's an online program, and you have to keep up to date with all of your annual I think probably the biggest perks is that you'll never miss out on a promotion. Constantly looking and getting online first thing in the morning, because they're going to have an email that tells them as soon as a promotion comes out. And a lot of times I've been able to save clients $400 or $500 whenever a promotion comes out, and get to have that pleasure of calling them or emailing them and saying, guess what? Your trip's less expensive now. So that's always a great thing. And then itinerary planning. So some of that is going to include the accommodations, but then in particular, especially with Walt Disney World and Disneyland, your dining reservations, and then your fast passes at Disney World. So there are some very hard to get fast passes as well as dining reservations that it's nice to have someone else that will get up at the crack of dawn and call or be online to try to get those for you at the second that those opportunities open up. Helps to keep you on track for when payments are due. So I'm sure you're wondering, how do you book a trip? What is the best, what do you have to put down right up front? So for Disneyland, for Disney World, it's $200 deposit. For Disney Cruise Lines, I know that it is a 20% down payment so whatever your total is, it's 20%. Offhand, I am trying to remember what Disneyland is, but it's just a little portion, and then you can make any changes all the way up until final payment is due. So for instance, Walt Disney World final payment is due 30 days out. And so you can book now and make changes all the way up until you make your final payment. So it's kind of nice to get ahead of it, go ahead and book that vacation, set something in, even if you're not sure. Like I would recommend, even if you don't know you're going to win, go ahead and plan your trip so that you can have that positive motivation behind you that you are going to win this trip. So and then also your travel agent will be available for you during your vacation to solve any issues or answer any questions, so that if there is some kind of hiccup or a reservation needs to be changed, you can actually still enjoy your vacation and you're not having to be on the phone while you're standing in line for a ride. So that's kind of a nice perk. So this is my contact information, my email address, my Facebook contact, and then my husband and I also have a website called addictedtothemouse.com. We have podcasts and blogs, so if you want more information on Disney World, please go check those out. We try to provide, our motto is providing Disney advice for parents by parents. Try to get you some good alone time with your spouse. Make it fun for the parents as well as the kids. So I guess I am ready to answer any questions you might have.
Okay, and so if you have any questions, ladies, there's a microphone on the bottom left of your screen. You'll have to click unmute to be able to talk to her. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone now. And I have a quick question. What are these fast passes you're talking about?
Okay, so at Disney World, you can book, if you stay on site, you can book fast passes 60 days prior to your vacation. And then if you're off site, it's 30 days prior. But basically, you get 3 fast passes per day. So you get to pick 3 of the attractions at each park, that 3 per day. So one park per day, that you want to kind of have an extra advantage. So for instance, typically starting about an hour or so after the park opens, Peter Pan's flight, the wait time is usually 75 minutes to 90 minutes to maybe even longer. And so if you have a fast pass, you walk in a different section of the line and you won't wait more than 5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. So you can just pick 3 a day at each location, right?
Correct.
Would you be able to tell us which 3 are the most worth it?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's different plans too that you can do if you plan on being there at rope drop, what rides to go to that will tend to fill up fast, but you can usually get on fairly quickly if you're there at the beginning of the day, and so on and so forth. So I can help with all of that.
Okay. On the Hawaii one, I know that the airfare, before you even said it, I know that it's expensive to get to Hawaii, especially from Tulsa. But could that possibly be included with the gift card as well on that one, or was it just the cruise?
No, I believe that there was the add flight option. I'd have to look at the screen again, but I believe on every quote option there was the here. Let me see if I can go back. Oh, it doesn't show it on this screen.
Okay.
I believe that there was the add flight option, but I'd have to double check on that, Sarah.
Okay. At Hawaii, it's going to be more expensive to do it at that location anyway. So you'd have to earn the $5,000 gift card to think about including the airfare anyway.
Right.
So, because I think all of the packages plus the meals were over $3,000, weren't they?
Yes. Yeah. This is just showing the room, and that doesn't include any of your food or anything.
Okay.
Aulani doesn't have a separate park necessarily. They just have their pool and the kind of lazy river area, and so you won't have that added expense. But
okay, can you go back to Disney World real quick, because that's probably what most people would pick. I'm just assuming. I don't know. How many of your clients? What do most people choose?
It's probably fairly split amongst all of them. It really depends on what you want and how much you're willing to spend. So I would say I picked these three in particular because I know I've had clients stay at them, or I've stayed at them, and so they're all good resorts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so on the vacation offer one, that is the cheapest at Disney World, correct?
Correct. Yes.
That you're showing. So when you add in food, it says regular Disney dining plan $1,320. So adding 1,300 to 25 is 3,800 basically. So if you earn the minimum gift card, ladies, you're basically spending $800 plus getting to Disney. Is that correct, Leslie?
Yeah, that is correct. And we live in Tulsa, and we've driven several times, and it's really not that bad of a drive, so depending on where you live, that is always the option. It's about 18 hours from here in Tulsa, so it's doable. Got it.
So that's really exciting that it would be less than $1,000 for a family of 4 to go to Disney World with our incentive. And if you're in the $5,000, you can easily do that moderate one plus stay longer. Or what would you say? People earned the $5,000 one and they chose vacation offer number 2, so that's $3,250, add $1,300, so you're at what, $4,600 basically.
Correct.
So the extra $400, what could you spend that on other than the memory maker?
So I was just going to say, you could do the memory maker, but also you can use those gift cards in the gift shops. So then,
for gifts.
Yeah, so you could use them in the gift shops for.
So after you use memory maker, choose the moderate option and have your food, you have about $250 left over for gifts.
Yeah, so you could use them for your souvenirs.
That's awesome. Okay, so of those ladies that are joining this call, now is the time to ask Leslie questions about what she has presented. We still have 15 minutes remaining that we could have on this call, so she flew through the information, but I think it was really good. So if anyone has a question, go ahead and chime in.
And Sarah, let me go ahead and note too that different times a year are going to cost different amounts. So obviously if you go in a peak season, it's going to increase a little bit if you're right around Christmas or something like that. If you go in the middle of January, it's going to decrease it a little. To give a really good perspective, I have a client that I've booked at the Polynesian before for 6 nights, and they're a family of 4. So it's that same kind of setup with the 2 adults and 2 children.
Which one's the Polynesian?
Polynesian is kind of the islandy one. I don't have a picture of it here, but it's kind of the tropical one that's on the monorail. So it's on that monorail loop. So it's really convenient as far as location.
Okay.
And they have a dining plan and it's about $5,500. So you can do, depending on where you're at, just looking this close out at September, I couldn't find anything that was that looked similar to that. So, because we booked theirs a little ways out. So, and they have they were able to apply a promotion to it. So that helped. All of these are rack rate. So there's no promotions applied to them. So we can definitely possibly get an even cheaper rate.
Okay. All right, if Melissa, Brandy, or Whitney have a question, go ahead. And if not, we're going to go ahead and end the call here in a minute. Okay. Well, if you ladies, when Melissa just came back, Melissa, if you have a question, you can ask Leslie. Otherwise, we're going to end the call. And then we're going to have this again tomorrow as well. And this has been recorded. So
I don't have a question.
I'm sorry, did you say you did or did not?
I did not.
Okay, gotcha. All right, well, thanks, Leslie, for your time. We are going to end this call, and thank you, everyone, and good luck earning the trip. All of you can earn this.
Good luck.
So I know Leslie used the word win, but we're actually earning this.
Earning, sorry.
So everyone here can earn it. It's so attainable. It's not based on your personal sales, which I love. It's based on sharing the opportunity. And the awesome thing about this is that you don't even have to be a consultant right now to earn this. If Leslie decided she wanted to earn her next trip for free, she could join tomorrow and do that. So just as an example, this doesn't have to be for someone that's been doing this forever. So you start tomorrow, you tell 4 people about it, they have 2 parties and you have 2 parties, and it's done. So it's pretty darn easy. So,
well, please, if anybody has any questions, please reach out to me and I'm happy to answer them.
thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
All right,
Thanks,
bye-bye.
guys.